I know we've spoken about pegging the interest rate somewhat to a gold price. Maybe that would help the Fed stabilize rates. But really, how do we get the dollar strong at this point? I mean, its value has shrunk about 75% since 1975. Are we just too far gone?
Well, you don't try to recreate the past. What you do is you stop the bleeding. And what that means is you pick a price for a dollar gold price and then stick to it. Now, it'll take a few months to have a transition. But let's take 1,500. If you had to peg it at $1,500 an ounce, if it goes much above 1,500, everyone knows you're going to tighten. If it goes much below 1,500, everyone knows that you could ease it. That's what the Fed hates. You could have a couple of high school graduates do monetary policy with the gold standard.
But me sitting at home, say, deciding whether or not to make a purchase, how does knowing that the Fed's interest rate is pegged to a certain gold price help me?
It's not so much the interest rate, just a steady measure of value, the dollar. It's like when you go to the supermarket, you buy a pound of a hamburger. You assume it's 16 ounces, not 18 ounces, not 12 ounces. If you didn't know what a pound was each day, you would make shopping very difficult.
Is it enough to just say a dollar is going to be worth this amount of gold?
Well, you don't have to own more than an ounce. All you do is look at the market price. And you can give people the privilege if they want for a 1 or 2% fee. If they want to go and change their dollars for gold at Fort Knox, fine. But the key thing is you keep it within that small price range. And it works. We did it for 180 years one way or the other and did pretty well under it.
Do you advocate gold coins and silver coins in circulation as well in the privatization of minting?
Well, in terms of gold and silver coins, if you want to lug those things around, fine. It's usually easier to use plastic or paper. But as long as it has a steady measure of value, you can use coins if you want to lug the things around, yeah.
And we should have a privatization be legalized rather than just rely on the U.S. Mint?
Well, in terms of right now, in terms of creating the money, yes, the government would be in charge of it. But in terms of coinage, if you want to knock out a coin and it's you have it assayed, people want to accept it, fine. But most people would take what the Feds turn out. And
then should we negate all capital gains on gold coins, on the sale of gold and silver coins?
Sure, especially gold. Silver is a different thing. In the past, because an ounce of gold is so valuable, it's hard to make a coin that you can use to buy a cup of coffee. So you use silver. So there's a big history thing about what's the relationship between gold and silver, and they'd always get misaligned. So just keep the gold price steady and people can keep their dimes and their quarters and their dollar bills.